Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session with Beyond the Classroom. In today's session, we are going to be looking at the second half of our third chapter of geography, drainage. Now, if you haven't watched the first part yet, I would recommend you go and watch that first. In that, we covered the drainage systems in India and the three Himalayan rivers. Now, we're going to cover the remaining topics in today's video: the peninsular rivers, the lakes, the role of rivers in economy, and river pollution. So, let's get started. There are many peninsular rivers in our country. However, not all of them are very large ones. There are only six main important large ones, and these are the ones we're going to be taking a look at: the Narmada Basin, the Tapi Basin, the Godavari Basin, the Mahanadi Basin, the Krishna Basin, and the Kaveri Basin. These are the six largest peninsular rivers and the most important ones. So let's take a look at each one of them in more detail. Our first peninsular river is the Narmada Basin. The Narmada Basin has origins in the Amarkantak Hills of Madhya Pradesh. It flows in a rift valley which is formed due to faulting. It flows in the westward direction, and on its way it creates many picturesque locations. Some of these are pretty well known, like the Marble Rocks near Jabalpur and the Dhuadhar Falls. Now, we're not going to go into the tributaries of the Narmada because most of them are very short, but what's important to know is that they join the mainstream at right angles. And the states which this basin covers are Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Next up, we have the Tapi Basin. Now, the Tapi Basin is actually very similar to the Narmada Basin, which we just looked at. It also rises in Madhya Pradesh, and it also flows in a Rift Valley, parallel to the Narmada. So that means it goes in the same direction. However, there are some differences. The first one is the Narmada is much longer, and just like the Narmada, the Tapi Basin also covers Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, but it also covers some parts of Maharashtra. Now, the other coastal rivers are mostly very short because they flow through the coastal plains. These lie between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea, and they are very narrow. These main west flowing rivers are the Sabarmati, Mahi, Bharatpuzha, and Periyar. Next up, we have the Godavari Basin. Now, the Godavari, it has length of 1500 kilometers, and as you can see, that makes it the largest peninsular river. Its origin is in Maharashtra, in the Nasik district, in the Western Ghats. And just like its largest peninsular river, it also has the largest drainage basin. This basin covers around 50% of it lies in Maharashtra, and the remaining part lies in Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. The Godavari has a couple of important tributaries. The smaller ones are the Purna, Vardha, and Pranita, and then we have the larger ones, the Mantra, Vainganga, and Penganga. Now, if you watch the first part, which if you haven't watched, I recommend you watch it once again, you'll know that the Ganga is a very long river and its drainage basin covers a lot of area. Because the Godavari basin covers a lot of length and area as well, it is known as Dakshin Ganga. For those of you who know Hindi, Dakshin means south, so this literally means southern Ganga. Next, we have the Mahanadi basin. The Mahanadi basin has its origins in Chhattisgarh, and it mostly flows through Odisha, and it eventually drains into the Bay of Bengal. Its length is around 860 kilometers. Its drainage basin is covered by four states: Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. Our next river is the Krishna. The Krishna rises from a spring near Mahabaleshwar, which, if you're wondering, is located in Maharashtra. It is one of the longer peninsular rivers at around 1400 kilometers. Just like the Godavari, just like the Mahanadi, it also drains into the Bay of Bengal. It has many tributaries, but the most important ones are the Tungabhadra, Koyana, Ghatprabha, Musi, and Bhima. Its drainage basin occupies three states: Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. And now we come to a final river, the Kaveri. The Kaveri's origin is in the Western Ghats in the Brahmagiri range. Just like many other rivers, it drains into the Bay of Bengal. And it has four main tributaries, which are the Amravati, Bhavani, Hemavati, and Kabini. Its drainage basin covers three different states, which are the Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. It's one of the shorter peninsular rivers at 760 kilometers, but just because it's short doesn't mean it's not useful. It creates the Samudram Falls, which is the second biggest waterfall in India. This, apart from generating a lot of tourist attraction, is useful because it generates hydroelectric power. This power is supplied to Mysore, Bangalore, and the Kolar goldfield. Think of a place like Ladakh. It is a popular tourist place, and its most famous tourist attraction is the Dal Lake. If this lake were not present, then do you think Ladakh would have been as popular as it was today? I don't think so. So, we already come to one importance of lakes. It attracts tourists. However, it has some other uses as well. So, sometimes these lakes are very large and they are called seas. Some examples of seas are the Caspian Sea, the Dead Sea, and the Aral Sea. And other than these seas, India has many lakes as well. And these lakes are widely different in size and other characteristics. Most of these lakes are permanent, but there are a couple exceptions. These are the seasonal lakes. They contain water only during the rainy season. This would happen in semi-arid regions and basins of inland drainage, because these places do not get much rainfall at all. Some lakes are formed naturally by glaciers and ice sheets. Lakes can also be formed by rivers and wind. And of course, humans will interfere at some point. So there are rivers which are formed, there are lakes which are formed by human activities. One type of lake is the Oxbow Lake. This lake is formed by meandering rivers across floodplains. Another type is lagoons, which are mostly found in coastal areas and are formed by spits and bars. Some of these are the Chilka Lake, the Pulikat Lake, and the Koleru Lake. And like I said, lakes which are found in the region of inland drainage are usually seasonal. One of these is Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. This is a saltwater lake, and of course, it is useful because its water is used to produce salt. Saltwater lakes are useful, but freshwater lakes are even more useful because we can't exactly use salt water to drink, can we? So let's see where you can find freshwater lakes. Most of them are formed by glaciers, which are found, of course, in the Himalayas. However, we have the Wular Lake in Jammu and Kashmir, which is an exception. It is formed by tectonic activity and is the largest freshwater lake in India. Some other freshwater lakes are the Dal Lake, which I talked about at the start, the Bhimtal, Nainital, Loktak, and Barapani. And like I said earlier, human intervention is inevitable, so there are artificial lakes as well. One of these is the Guru Gobind Sagar. Now it's time to look at the importance of lakes. We've already seen one of them, which is tourist attraction, which I talked about at the start. However, they have other value as well. The first one is a lake helps to regulate the flow of a river, and it's useful all times of the year. So it can prevent flooding during heavy rains and maintain an even flow of water during the dry season. And another use of it is to generate hydel power. And its other functions are moderating the climate of the surroundings, maintaining the aquatic ecosystem, enhance natural beauty, help develop tourism, which I already talked about, and provide recreation. Throughout human history, rivers have been an essential part of our life. Of course, it gives us a basic natural resource, water. But we need water to live and perform many other activities as well. So, so we get water from rivers, which is very useful. So settlers in ancient times would prefer to make the settlements near rivers. Most of these settlements have now turned into big cities. For example, the Indus Valley civilization was formed on the banks of the Indus River. The Nile Valley civilization was formed on the banks of the Nile River. There are many other examples, but I'm not going to go through them. So, so we can use rivers for irrigation, navigation, and hydropower generation. So, and we need this water because India is an agricultural country. Farming is its main occupation. So we need a lot of water. No matter how important rivers are to us, they are still going to be polluted. There are two major problems. The first one is the large demand for water. It can be for domestic uses, municipal uses, industrial uses, or agricultural uses. So we are continuously draining water from these rivers. However, we are taking out water, but in return, we are dumping sewage and industrial effluents. This affects the quality of the water, of course, and makes it less usable, but it also affects the self cleansing capacity of the water. Now, here's an example to show you these problems. The Ganga water can dilute and assimilate pollution within 20 kilometers of large cities. However, because of pollution, urbanization, and industrialization, this cannot happen. However, people are now finally beginning to show concern towards these rivers, and they have launched various action plans. Let's look at one of them in some more detail. The National River Conservation Plan, or the NRCP. This plan was created in 1985, and at the time it was only focused towards the Ganga. So it was called the Ganga Action Plan, or the GAP. So in the year 1995, this GAP began to cover other rivers as well. That's when they had to change the name, so he made it the National River Conservation Plan. Now, what's the main objective of this NRCP? It is to improve the water quality of the rivers, and and they do this through the implementation of pollution abatement work. With this, we come to the end of our chapter. If you enjoyed today's session, please like this video and comment in the comment section below. Also share this video with your friends and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.